Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Most Indian refineries have skipped their oil purchase from Russia for the month of December. Somewhere down the line, by the looks of it, what Trump said that, India has promised me, my good friend Mr. Narendra Modi has promised me that he will not buy Russian oil anymore, seems to be coming true. Let's talk about it. Let's get right to the show. So as always, I will take you through the story first and then I will come to my analysis. So for all those who have already read this story and who are aware of what is happening and who have read multiple articles in different publications, you can skip my introduction and you can go directly to my analysis. So here goes. You see, many refineries have skipped their oil purchase from Russia for the month of December. The general understanding is that now we are going to taper down our purchase to an extent where very soon we will stop our oil purchase from Russia. This is what is being said. And to my mind, it almost looks like that's the way it is happening. So end of the day, what happened? What happened is what Trump said a few weeks back that, listen, my good friend Mr. Narendra Modi has promised me that he will stop buying oil from Russia is more or less coming true. So let's get to the story. Most of the major oil refineries have skipped their oil purchase, crude oil purchase from Russia for December. Now, India has scaled back purchases of Russian crude for arrival in December, showing that Western sanctions and trade talks with US are having a major impact on our buying patterns. This is very important. 5 refineries, that is Reliance Industries Limited, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, Mangalore Refineries and Petrochemicals Limited, HPCL Mittal Energy Limited accounted for 2/3 of India's imports of Russian oil so far in this year based on Kepler data. Only 2 processors, that is Indian Oil Corporation and Nayara Energy Limited, have bought some Russian crude for December. IOC has purchased, that is Indian Oil has purchased from non-sanctioned seller, while Nayara, which is partly owned by Rosneft, continues to rely solely on Russian crude. Now, this is the situation as far as our Russian oil purchase is concerned. So, like I said, by the looks of it, what Trump said, this is what he had to say. Just hear this.
My friend has been there now for a long time, and he's assured me there will be no oil purchased from Russia. I don't know, maybe that's a breaking story. Can I say that? Would you say? There will be no oil. He's not buying his oil from Russia. It started. You can't do it immediately. It's a little bit of a process, but the process is going to be over with soon. And all we want from President Putin is stop this. Stop killing Ukrainians and stop killing Russians, because he's killing a lot of Russians. If India doesn't buy oil, it makes it much easier. And they're not going to buy. They assured me they will, within a short period of time, they will not be buying oil from Russia. And they'll go back to Russia after the war's over.
Here it is more or less coming true. Nahi kharidne ka. My good friend promised me that he will not buy. And things, by the looks of it, not even, it will take time and all he says. I didn't take much time. I think this was said some couple of weeks back. And here you are. We are slowly stopping to buy from Russia. TK. Now, no, it is not TK actually. You know why? Because this man Trump treats different countries differently. You see, India was forced what? We were forced to surrender. India was forced to surrender to his whims and fancies for a trade deal and because of the fear of his sanctions and tariffs.
I don't think we have. I've been very disappointed that India would be buying so much oil, as you know, from Russia. And I let them know that. We put a very big tariff on India, 50% tariff, very high tariff.
So India was forced to surrender. But let me give you an example of Hungary. You see, Hungary, unlike India, got a pass on US sanctions for Russian oil. Hungary has been given 1 year exemption to purchase Russian oil. When Trump was asked, "Bhai, tum Hungary ko kaisa? How could you give Hungary 1 year's extension?" Trump says that Hungary faced unique logistic challenges, including access to a sea that could be used to drill oil. However, the Center for the Study of Democracy, a European public policy institute, said in a report that phasing out Russian oil is fully feasible for Hungary and Slovakia, as the Adria pipeline from Croatia supplying non-Russian crude can meet their combined needs. There, it is okay. Trump says, no, they can't survive without Russian oil. But study says, no, they can. They can easily survive without Russian oil. They can easily buy it from Croatia. But no, there, Mr. Trump ensured that they got a 1 year pass to buy Russian oil. This is the Trump philosophy, and this is the philosophy that we are succumbing to. Anyway, let us go further. Like I told you, let me just share all the information with you. Then we will get into the analysis. Now, in another article, in another story, Russia oil finds fewer takers in China after a hit from sanction. Chinese oil refineries are also shunning Russian shipment after the US and others blacklisted Moscow, top producers, and some of its customers. State-owned giants like Sinopec and PetroChina company are staying on the sidelines, having cancelled some Russian cargoes in the wake of US sanctions on Rosneft, PJSC, and Lukoil, PJSC, last month. So not just India, even China has slowed down on the purchase of Russian oil. That said, there are a lot of news that China is trying to source Russian oil through back-end sources, as they call it, shadow fleet. Now, there are a couple of fallouts. Let's talk about the analysis. What is coming out of this are very wrong signals. Trump said, I brought about the ceasefire. We said no.
On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons.
दुनिया के किसी भी नेता ने भारत के ऑपरेशन रोकने के लिए नहीं कहा.
Trump said, Modi has agreed to stop buying Russian oil. We said no. Finally, what happens? We are more or less stopping Russian oil. At least we are in that en route to stop purchase of Russian oil. Aren't we? So what are we telling the world? We are possibly more or less telling the world that we are surrendering to what Trump wants us to do. We are doing what exactly Trump wants us to do. I understand our trade requirement. I understand that they are a big trading partner. I understand that they are a big buyer. All this I understand. But the fact is, are we going to therefore be bullied for the rest of our living life? Isn't it a challenge for Indian leadership? And isn't that leadership all about? To ensure that we face this adversary. We did that during Atal Bihari Vajpayee's time. Isn't it time that we face our bully? Find out alternatives, alternative countries where we can sell our product. And maintain our sovereignty, our right to decide for ourselves. Isn't it important? And isn't how this should be? We have succumbed to Trump's threats. One senior journalist had said this. Yes.
Recently, India faced tough new challenges with trade tariffs, which were imposed by the United States. While many leaders globally yielded under pressure, you, Modi ji, chose to stand firm and push back. India's trade negotiators showed flexibility in talks, But the message from the leadership was clear. This Naya Bharat will not bend.
We are going to stand our ground. We are proud that our Prime Minister stood our ground. What ground? Gone. Gone. That ground is gone. If we stop purchase of Russian oil, that ground is gone. We were scared in 2019 also when we stopped purchase from Iran. Now we are scared in 2025. We are stopping from Russia. What all are we going to change because America wants us to do that? Where is standing ground? Where is Chappan inch? Where is sovereignty? Where is Vishwaguru? Where are all these terms? These are terms that are there in reels. These are terms that are there in some weird channels. Where is this actually? You know, there were senior journalists shouting, howling, saying that, you know, the Modi-Trump relationship. What is Modi-Trump relationship? Trump saying and Modi listening? Is that the relationship? Because now it just looks that. Now, the last point. You know, when we decided to buy oil from Russia and we said, you know, we are intelligent, you know, we went all over the world and we said, Europeans, how you guys can look after your interests. We guys, just watch some of these.
Look, it's funny you have people who work for a pro-business American administration accusing other people of doing business. Okay, that's really curious. But here's the point. If you have a problem buying oil from India, oil or refined products, don't buy it. Nobody forced you to buy it. I mean, but Europe buys, America buys. So you don't like it, don't buy it.
Your question, do we have multiple options? Answer is yes. Is that a problem? Why should it be a problem? If I'm smart enough to have multiple options, you should be admiring me. You know, you shouldn't be criticizing.
When we were saying all this, you know, trying to be very smart with the world, saying that, yaar, humne dekho, Russian oil kharida. Didn't we know that there would be sanctions? Didn't we know that America will hold our ears and make us do what they want us to do? Which is what's kind of look like. Didn't we know that? At least we should have accepted what they told us then. At least we wouldn't have been embarrassed like this. You know, after showing Chappan inch and all that and going around the world saying that, hey, we'll buy Russian oil, now meekly going and saying that, theek hai, nahi mangta Russian oil.
Well, right now the tariffs are very high on India because of the Russian oil, and they've stopped doing the Russian oil. It's been reduced very substantially. Yeah, we're going to be bringing the tariffs down.
Look at where it puts us. Is this the decisive, the Vishwaguru, the powerful, the all-powerful, the Asian tiger India that we all dreamt of, that we all envisaged that we are going to get with this nationalist government? Is this what the promised India is? I do not say that therefore we should go and fight with United States or fight with any country for that matter of fact. As a matter of fact, we should be friendly with every country. This is what ideally I would see my India being. But that said, at what cost? Are we going to compromise on our sovereignty? You see, America is an important trade partner for us. America is one of our largest trade partners. But like any businessman would tell you, never depend on one client. If your company is dependent on one client and 50 to 60% of your produce is going to that one client will dominate your life. You will cease to be a sovereign company. Your company will run exactly the way that company, that big company of yours who is buying, a big client of yours who is buying your produce, want you to run. That big client will make you toe his lines, and you will have to. Don't you think that's happening here? My point number 2. You see, when you're holding hands and, hugging every 2 minutes and, you talk about this personal rapport, you see, it is one of the most, you are putting India in danger. Mr. Narendra Modi was putting India in danger. Because his relationship directly affected India's relationship. If there is a ego clash between him and Trump, that will affect India's relationship, India's trade, India's future. And that is somehow what has happened. And because of all of this, United States has almost hyphenated India and Pakistan, not just in United States, but almost at a global level. Because when United States says something, the globe listens. Like I said, this tariff has not just worked for India. Even a lot of other countries have also accepted and agreed to United States. So let's not just look at India alone. But, I am concerned about my country, so I talk about my country. Trade, commerce. Please, let's keep politics aside. Please, let's keep this urge of becoming popular, becoming global leader and all that aside. It doesn't matter. India comes first. India's interest comes first. National interest comes first. Let's look at national interest instead of individual or a political party's interest. That's a lesson I think we learned from this entire relationship. And I call this a relationship debacle. I hope our senior leaders have learned this lesson. Till I see you next time. That's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar. You see, a channel like ours, we tend to speak what we believe is right for the nation. And when we tend to do that, there are very few advertisers that would come and like to watch us. Also, the fact that, when we pick up topics, we don't look at how YouTube promotes you. We don't look at all that. We look at topic which we think is necessary for the country to know. Now, the problem with all of that is we don't get much of advertising revenue. We require your support. Kindly support our channel. Kindly support our channel so that we are free to talk what we want to. We are free to pick up topics which actually are relevant to you. However boring it is, but actually are relevant to you. And we don't need to depend or structure our programming according to what advertisers want or how we can capture eyeballs and all of that. Because we are not here to entertain. We are here to inform. Let us do our job, for which we really need your help. So please do support our channel. Please join our channel and pick up one of the schemes and please support us.